Guys, I know I've been gone for a while. To summarize, I had college as well as working on music and more active on TikTok, which if you want to follow me on TikTok as well as check out my music, I created a new Spotify account so you can follow me there, as well as my TikTok. I post frequently, except I just post like a lot of anime manga content. So you want to check that out, go for it. All of these will be in the link description below, so yeah. Anyways, I love music. You love music? Everybody loves music. But to be honest, are you getting tired of hearing the same songs over and over again? You want something to spice up your listening experience? Well, do not worry, because I have 5 albums that I think people should listen to, or at least once. So, without wasting time, and to start your music expansion journey, let's go over these 5 albums recommended by me. All of these songs as well as albums belong to the respective artists, and feel free to check out my socials as displayed on the screen. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Mass of the Fermenting DREGS are a post-hardcore shoegaze trio formed in Kobe, Japan in 2002. The current trio includes a bassist and vocalist Natsuko Miyamoto, guitarist and vocalist Naoya Ogura, and the drummer Isao Yoshino. Originally, it had an all-female lineup of Natsuko herself, Reiko Goto, and Chiime Ishimoto. However, the two departed from the band in October 2007 and October 2010. 7 years after the band's formation, on January 21st, 2009, the band released their second studio album, which was World Is Yours. Where do I even start? Even if you don't speak or understand Japanese, I'm confident you enjoy the instrumentals and vocals in this. Now I do have to admit, this is my first time listening to this band and entering the world of Mass of the Fermenting DREGS, but this album is equivalent to getting a golden ticket to Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. Genre-wise, it's a post-hardcore indie rock and noise rock album. It's loud, noisy, energetic, and honestly, it makes it feel alive in some way. The vocals are intense too. I mean, listen to the most popular song, especially around the 3-minute and 40 mark. Listening to this album makes me feel like I'm in the opening scene of Baby Driver. It's intense, but beautiful and short too, only having 6 tracks and a runtime length of 22 minutes. Bottom line, if you're ready to get completely swept away, then World Is Yours is one hell of a first step into Mass of the Fermenting DREGS, including me of course. What Is Your Name is an indie rock, Midwest emo, post-rock and shoegaze artist from Toronto, Canada, releasing their first album back in 2022, that being The Now Now Never. In an Instagram post, they said that they've always wanted to work on a project like this, getting tired of the whole breakcore scene. Oh, and by the way, they made breakcore music under the alias 2021. Despite stating that this album isn't their greatest, it's still their most popular album and beloved by many. One thing that I love about this album is how the cover art doesn't just represent the music, it sounds like it. The dark blue sky and the soft sunset wanting to be a part of this memory, along with the hand-drawn anime style like characters. One throws up a peace sign as they look back, while the other two walk ahead, facing the sunset. Feels like a memory, whether it be the drawing, the background, or even both. It's a feeling of nostalgia, which is exactly how the song sounds. The Now Now Never is a post-rock indie rock shoegaze and neo-psychedelic album released on July 16, 2022, consisting of 8 tracks with a runtime length of 43 minutes. While the tracks tend to loop and sometimes the drums slip off beat, it somehow works. A beautiful mess to be exact. Yeah, there could be some major improvements to this record. After all, this was their first album, and they knew that it was never going to be a great album. It's still one of my absolute favorites. All I can say is that this album has the feeling of nostalgia, from the constant repetitiveness of the first track in itself to the relaxing and mesmerizing melody from youthful days. It makes me feel like I'm in my teen years, constantly mucking around with no care yet having a bright smile with the homies. under a warm summery night. It's quite hard to describe this album. Funnily enough, in the Spotify bio they said, and I quote, "I create a certain vibe that I cannot describe." In the end, the Now Now Never is rough around the edges, but for those who connect with it, it might just feel like home. It's the kind that quietly asks, do you ever feel this way too? And if you do, it sticks with you long after the last track ends. Give this one a listen and experience the feeling you didn't know you missed. Jane Remover is a producer, songwriter, and artist from New Jersey, releasing the debut album Frailty in 2021, which was then followed by Census Designated in 2023, and now the most recent album, Revenge Seekers, released on April 4th, 2025. Jane also has an alternative side project named Venturing, which is a once fictional band formed in the small town of Benton, South Dakota, consisting of 6 members. They were supposedly active from 1990 to 2002. However, their drummer was mysteriously found dead in his vehicle, causing the band to be dissolved the following year. Yeah, the lore goes deep. Anyways, this album is heat. Revenge Seekers is a digital experimental hip-hop and EDM album consisting of 12 tracks and a bonus song with a runtime length of almost 50 minutes. It's a loud and aggressive beast of a record as Jane Remover leans fully into the distortion, glitch vocals and chaotic instrumentals with a pinch of a Palkiest cry in it. This album captures that feeling of being overwhelmed in the most strangely cathartic way. It's like it's grabbing me by the throat, Sasuke style. Jane's production goes crazy, making sure every distortion, melody and sample is handcrafted carefully despite its mess. Starting off the album with heat and ending with the first single of the album, JR JR JR. I like to imagine this album as a huge fuck you to the world, but with a smile on the face, headphones on and middle fingers up. It's a digital rebellion, still managing to say those 2 words to the world in the most beautifully careless way possible. Now I find it understandable why Revenge Seekers isn't for casual listening. You might be overwhelmed by the noisy production, but there's beauty in this distortion as Jane turns the chaos into catharsis. Jane made this for the ones who are feeling too much. If that's you, you're going to love every second of it. Thief is a pseudonymous folktronica musician from South Korea, starting his career in 2012 using the stage name Hyo. 3 years later, he would change his name again to 공중도덕, releasing his self-titled debut album on February 9, 2015. However, he then changed his name yet again in 2018 to Thief due to the fact that rappers Dok2 and The Quiet released a song with the same name. That same year, Thief would release his second studio album, Crumbling, on July 31st, 2018, which also features vocals by South Korean singer Summer Soul. Fun fact, Thief contributed to the Sonny Boy anime soundtrack in 2021. Crumbling is something. It's a new psychedelic folktronica and psychedelic pop album, having 8 tracks with a runtime length of 44 minutes. This is one of those albums where it feels like you're listening with your whole body. Or for me, it feels like I've just been isekai'd into a fantasy world and this plays in the background. Like World Is Yours, despite being sang in Korean, you don't have to understand what both Thief and Summer Soul are saying, but you can enjoy the singing and Thief's outstanding production. Glitchy, lush and hypnotic, pulling you into a space where time slows down. Tracks like Curve and Light, These Chains, or Crumbling Together. Thief manages to weave together acoustic guitars, strange synths, glitchy effects and more to create something that's somehow both incredibly detailed and busy, yet never cluttered. Something so creative to hear, leaving myself and probably you guys feeling flabbergasted. A fun, energetic, emotional and raw experience to go through. Even the wood crumbling never sounded this beautiful. Bitterfeet turns the feeling of falling apart into strangely comforting, and that's what made this album unforgettable. Della is a shoegaze, dream pop and post-rock artist from South Korea, releasing 2 EPs in 2022, Vitamins and Apprehension in January 2022, and You and Ambiguity Nebulous You on December 15, 2022. Prior to her debut, she uploaded various song covers to her YouTube channel, ranging from artists and bands like Slowdive, Paranormal, or Midair Thief. In her Bandcamp, Della talks about her second album, stating, and I quote, "In particular, this EP explores my relationship with grief. The 4 tracks loosely represent denial, bargaining, depression, and acceptance, respectively. And while producing the EP in early October, I unexpectedly lost someone dear to me, and subsequently rewrote many of the lyrics and track listing, morphing the record from a narrative of past events to a means of processing my ongoing emotions." Of all that she said, it does sound like that. Looking back at the past, the toughest time dealing with grief and pain with a mix of dream pop and shoegaze production, and you've got this beautiful record. Only having 4 tracks and a runtime length of almost 14 minutes is a hazy dream on the edge of waking up. Ambiguity sits at the heart of this EP, not knowing how to feel or what to say. It's a record that feels like grief in real time. Emotions come in waves while words drift like fog. Like with the Now Now Never, this album cover perfectly represents how the music sounds. Feeling the warm breeze and watching the colored skies as you look back and reflect, the atmosphere is soothing. Each track bleeds into the next like memories you're trying to hold on to but can't quite grasp. Della's vocals are distant and weightless, but somehow they still feel deeply human, like hearing someone speak from across the dream. The way the guitars are drowned in reverb, the vocals barely surface above the mix, feeling like you lost track of time. Starting with the dense and heavy opener, Constellation song, sinking and floating at the same time with the second track, Summer Nebulous You, movement to Let Go When It's Time to Let Go, the immersive third track of what Orpheus sang before. All that culminates to, for me personally, the magnum opus of this EP, Autumn Nebulous You. On a long and personal note, this song continues to be one of my most played songs ever. I love how beautifully melancholic this track sounds like. I've cried and smiled many times when listening to this song. If this track represents acceptance, then it's a kind of hope. The kind that doesn't scream or shine but lingers quietly, reminding you that maybe, just maybe, things will feel lighter someday. It's a song that gives me hope, appreciation, and that it will be okay no matter what pain you're dealing with. It's a track that wraps me around my pain and suffering, saying, I'll stay with you a while. And it has, since I first listened back in 2023. If you ever needed music that understands your silence, this album is for you. And as always, thank you for watching.